Hey, welcome back. So we're just getting ready to clear this up, and don't make the mistake I made. Don't try to put away the mouse or the rat miniatures without taking these off first. First of all, they won't fit back in your advent calendar, and secondly, they're not supposed to be put away. All right, so we got some faux cards that clearly we might end up seeing again. I have a feeling we might see more rats before this is all over. But this was a fun battle. In the solo board gaming group that I'm in on Facebook, somebody had asked if this was replayable, and it's an interesting question because I think right now, hopefully most of you would agree with me that the only thing that's replayable about this so far is that you're trying different character combinations, and because like this battle is going to stay the same regardless. So maybe you could make different choices during certain events or whatever. But even that seems pretty linear. Like I am not with the impression right now that I would want to, play this again just so I could see how such and such thing turns out. Um, I sure put your comments in and let me know what your thoughts are. But that's how I more or less answered it. I actually think that the character development was when we were creating our characters was a lot of fun, and you saw me spend a lot of time on that. And this combat is like to me the bread and butter of this game. You're either going to like this combat or you're not. And if you don't, this game's going to be very slow and dry for you. Um, and that I think I'm still TBD on. But my thoughts are is we got pummeled pretty hard. They beat up on us very strongly, very badly. What's the right word? But I felt like we took a lot of hits, and this could have turned out very differently if it wasn't for the fact that our cleric, who had all the armor, because I decided to give him all the armor, was taking all the hits. So and then we got lucky that they kept hitting different parts of his body. I mean, for Pete's sakes, he really did fall down, and we had to surge him. So there's things like that that I just don't think there's a lot. What are my thoughts here? I thought it was a challenging battle. Let's just put it that way. Yes, we won because we tried to make good moves and we played conservatively. And I think even if the cleric would have been KO'd, we still would have won. But we did at one point have two of them KO'd. So um, that that mother rat wasn't anything to mess around with. Okay, so as far as the basement goes, we've cleared everything out that I can see here. There is we took the treasure. For this, we've cleared everything out. These are just the names of the maps. Well, that's a connector, but that's the name of the map. So 1, 2, 3, 4, we cleared out. We have this little side door, which was, I think we already put that one away. We did. And so now we're coming back up the hallway and then going to the right into that part of the basement, which is going to take us up the stairs. And I'm just peeling all these away because I want to put them, we need to put them back. So now that we're done with these particular maps, I'm just putting them back inside their respective boxes because I don't see us coming back down here ever again. Actually, this was it's just so crazy that the designers and everybody creates this stuff and we use it once and then we never come back. We'll never use it again. There is definitely some craziness to that. Let's see. Okay. And then we have a medium map. And my apologies, I probably should have done this before I hit record. I never think about these things before I hit record. So we got... And then the other thing I put in the comments is I really thought that if I had to reset this game, even now, I'm not looking forward to it. They do have a page in the rulebook, by the way, that does talk about how to reset the game, and it does tell you that cards number 1 through whatever, A, go here, and then, cards 1 through whatever, B, C, D, etc., go there. It does tell you everything you need to know to reset, but you're going to be going through tons and tons of cards, because most of these cards are going into the back because, we're getting to the end. Alright, so here we are. We're back upstairs, and you have the NPC3 here, and that NPC3 I left out, it's Vera, and yes, she wants me to take care of the pests. And remember, the pest was like the left and up, according to that one guy, so I think we're getting close here, and then we're going to talk about the reward. So I come out, I was supposed to do something. Right here, I have the giant rat tail. So, help me remove these pests. Let's see. Help me remove these pests. So she is the one. Not that I had any doubts. So once we get here, we're supposed to draw event. What does that say? 4. And I don't know why, but the lighting is just really getting to me. And key 1. And of course, key 1 is this is going to get trashed, is what it's saying. So I'm going to go ahead and trash that into the back of the key section and draw event 4, which is right up front. I do appreciate that he's not jumping all over the place. Thank you so much. I don't have any squills, but I've made you something. She has you sit at a table and serves you freshly made sweet rolls, frosted with blue icing. They look delicious, and you can't wait to eat one. So it says look and eat. I mean, we're going to eat, but I guess we'll look too. Oh. If you look, you pick up a roll and begin to inspect it. Vera notices you hesitating and drops something on the ground. An eruption of pink smoke fills the room. When the smoke clears, Vera is gone. And if you eat, oh wow. Okay, so my problem is I said I was going to do both, and I was really lazy about it. Wow. Okay, so if we do this one down here, the exile with the most money loses all their money, and then job 4 gets added to the deck. And then NPC 3 is trash, just like up here. But see, job 4 gets added to the deck even up there, because in both cases she escapes. So the only other entrance is SML1 turns to B, which is the same as there. So so far, everything is the same. The only difference is you would lose money if you did this option down here. Now I'm torn because I was being lazy. I didn't say specifically. I think I did say I wanted to eat first, and then look. So all right. The only way to settle this is 1 to 10. I'm losing money. Otherwise, I'm not. I rolled a 20, a natural 20. All right, so I'm not going to lose any money. It was a 50-50. It was a 50-50 choice. I took a 50-50 odd. Everything else is the same. We do gain an experience point, which is pretty interesting because, that was another thing we were talking about. If somebody made it to level 2, and I was thinking, man, where do I go next to get another level? I do have, do we have a job? I thought we took a job. We might have. The problem is there's so many cards laying here on my table now. It is a problem with the game, by the way. Too many cards laying around. Alright, so we're up to 5 experience points. And just to give you perspective for the dwarf, 3 experience points was all it took to get to level 3. 5 is all it takes to get to level 1, I mean. So we're going to be able to get to level 2 right now. So that is excellent. But we're not done yet. We got to get everything else here. SML1, this one, goes to the B, which means that one gets inactive. So there is an inactive one, and SML1 will go. SML1A goes back there, and then we got to grab SML1 B, wherever that is. Oh, I see. They're near the back. So all the A's go up to like 93 or whatever, and then it goes to back to SML1 B. The fire in the hearth has burned out. The room is cold and empty. The woman calling herself Vera has vanished. And so you can see here that that's the new room. All right, so we'll put that in here as SML1 on the active side. And we're not going to be in this room anymore. Event 4 is done, so we can put that in the back of the box. And then I have, let's see, this is also gone, if I remember correctly. Yep, NPC3 is also gone. Alright, so what do we have? As far as cards laying around, we have the Herbologist. We have Gather Birdroot, which I think is our job. Yes. So we already took a job. And before I forget, I got to put job 4 in the job list. So job 4 is hunt rats. Interesting. And you got to travel to Ragul Junction and then do stuff. So, I mean, that's an interesting one. Actually, it's one that we could probably do easier than the one we currently have, because I don't even know where the location is that we currently have, but I'll put that in the active jobs. So it's available for us to take. We currently have a job, and I think we can maybe swap out jobs. I don't know. I believe this is done as far as events go. So we have Fellsworn Village, and we have the Exile Camp. And then we have our job. The Herbologist is at the village, which is why this is up here, like this. The camp is down here, and let me take my glasses off here. Easier for me to read. Level up is right here at the camp, and it's not at the Fellsworn Village. So we want to go back to the camp to do a level up. And here is our situation, and I almost caused the tokens to move around. We're here at the Winding Shore. The camp is here. We can take the road and get right back to camp. And we are on an adventure. Bilbo would be happy. And so let's rock and roll. I don't think I'm supposed to shuffle the travel. That's the part that's interesting. So now that I've left and come back, do I shuffle travel each time? I'm going to look that up. 1 second. And just so you know, the travel deck looks like this. And we did put stuff at the bottom of the travel deck, which I would only hope that the reason you put it on the bottom is because you got to go through the whole deck before it even becomes active. So it's just a matter of like how often do you shuffle the travel deck. So page 16 is where they want us to go. And if the deck is empty, you have to shovel the discard pile. That's it. So the deck has to be empty. Alright, so we're going to do road. Here's the first one. And it is a road. Like here. That's the grass one. So we're so hungry, we need to take a break. So we can choose to take a stamina hit and it makes the this to flip over if we don't. I'm going to just go ahead and flip that over. We're heading back to a rest spot. Alright, so then we go to the next one, which is another road. And there you go. There's a road, and it's a feather, so I'm going to just flip the feather one over. We're back to camp. I'm not too worried. We don't have to spend stuff to get there. Okay, so we're back at the exile camp. There's a lot that needs to be done. The first one is we could rest, which the whole party replenishes. It does shuffle the travel deck, as you can see here, and it refreshes the travel tokens. So we will do that, and then we can stash or sell items. So we're going to do a little bit of that. We're going to level up. We're going to do that before we do all this other stuff. And apparently we can't go past level 4 at the camp. So there's going to be some other place we're going to have to find where we can level up. It says when you gain level 3, take this event, which we're taking level 2 right now. And then we could retrain, but not doing that yet. And then the exile market, we can spend 1 money to add 1 cube to all fully empty potion or knapsack items. I don't have a fully empty anything. And then I can repair for 5 from the smithy, and you can take the market action for free once per day for new member help. So we can go to this market for free once per day. So you can repair 5 for one buck, but I can do that for free once per day. That's the part that I like. Okay, all right. So let's do the market action for free once per day, because we're going to rest and then have another day after we wake up, right? So we're going to go ahead and do this particular day, and it says each exile's market action is free once per day. So what I need to do is I need to get the potions probably away from the cleric. And because I have Brewmaster, I gave him the potion thing, but I don't need to. It just says when any exile drinks a potion. It doesn't have to be his potion. So I'm going to go ahead and exchange this with, I'm going to give this to, like, the mage. So she has the potions. And then this is her market action, is to replenish that. And the other thing that I didn't do a good job when I logged off, see that? That looks like a little nighttime symbol. You have to rest in order for that to replenish. And it will replenish when we rest tonight. And the practice kit had a similar thing here. And then the prepare bandages lets you replenish it without having to rest, but you have to be out of combat. And so the whole reason I'm doing this is because since this guy took all the damage, I can only heal 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, right? And then when we wake up tomorrow, I got to do it again to heal the next 2. It's a repair 5, and so that's the problem. The reason why I have to do these shenanigans. Nobody else has anything that needs to replenish or whatever, so we're fine. Okay, so bear in mind I do have to rest to make that happen. To make that happen, and let's go ahead and do that now. We are now on day 2, and so day 2 is, as you wake from your sleep, the dawn floods in. Welcome you to another splendid day. You strap on your pack and head out into the world. First time this card is drawn, add Travel 41 to the bottom of the Travel discard pile. Now, I don't know what the right order is, because when you refresh, or when you sleep, these things happen, and then the Travel deck gets shuffled. So I'm assuming Travel 41 is not part of the shuffling. It's just an assumption I'm making, folks. I don't have an answer there. If you have any FAQ or anything that you're aware of, so this new travel card, I'm just going to put in my discard, because I'm going to assume that I shuffled everything as part of the sleep action, and we're getting that the next morning after we're done refreshing everything. So So yes, the rest of the travel cards, shuffle, 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 and they're good to go. Alright, and then I'm also realizing I have, just to clean up my table, I'm going to take these four and move them elsewhere so they're not clogging up my table. And guess what I just saw right here? Look at that. That's the symbol I was trying to look up. Like, what the heck is that? And I have 3 of them, in fact. So these are sitting here on my table along with a treasure chest and what looks like a wagon, right? So let me look up again. Maybe I can find those in the component list at the front of the rulebook. Those are, nope. Those are trap tokens. I have 4 dummy tokens, which of course it says is only used. They're called glyph tokens, right here. Let me zoom in for you. So, glyph tokens, right there. So that was the symbol on one of the skills or items that the wizard can get. So, and then here's the cart token and the chest token. I just didn't know what that was, and that was from the last video, if you remember. What the heck is a glyph? I'm looking in the, see, and if we look at the index here, glyph is not anywhere to be found. So that's a big miss, if you ask me. Like, you would call something a glyph token, and then you don't explain what a glyph is. I mean, maybe it's in here somewhere, and I'm just missing it over and over and over again. But it does show glyph tokens. That, or maybe there's a card that explains what a glyph token does, and I'm just being stubborn. I don't know. Okay, I think I discovered the mystery. I would have to spoil myself. So this is the item that has the glyph on it, right? And remember, we have a glyph. I finally found a glyph token, and was able to at least find in the rulebook where it's even mentioned. The glyph is nowhere in the index. It's very frustrating because it's like, what does these glyph tokens do? Other than I know I have a match, right? Well, so I'm looking into this and I pulled this back out. Remember, I don't have this yet. This is one of the chest items I can get in the future. It's just, it's burning me. Like, I want to know, like, what is it? Well, if you flip it over, there's actually text on the back, and I got to look at all the other items I got to see if something like this is similar. It says it has a mold and a glowing glyph, right? And then we're going to gain a key card. And that key card is probably related to the glyph. It's key 48. And just so I can put this to bed, I'm going to look at key 48, even though I don't have the card yet. And I'm not going to try to read all the details. It does say, yes, it's a glyph card. So I didn't read anything, but at the very top of it, it showed a picture of the glyph, and it's called kinetic glyph, and that's all I read. I didn't bother reading all the text because I don't want to spoil what it says, etc. So that finally helps me put it to rest. We're going to get a card that's going to explain to us how to use the glyph token. So yay, mystery solved. Okay, now I got to look at my other situation here. We ended up getting like a new armor. And you can see here that there's nothing special about this one. So we're good there. Although we're going to sell this armor, right? And this is we're going to sell this for $1. So I'm going to set that off to the side and take $1 for that. We're going to sell this for $1 as well. And I'm realizing I should probably keep them separate so they go back in their boxes. And then, so we're at $2 so far. And then this practice shirt for $3. And then this staff for $4. So $4 is actually, that's a good haul. And I'm realizing I shouldn't keep money on just one character just because of what happened to us last time, but I'm doing this out of laziness. Just imagine everything's evenly distributed. Okay, so the best way to put these away is they have their starter boxes, so I'll do that some other time. I'm going to check to make sure there's no special text on any of these. So far, so good. No special text on that one. And then with the spear, I gotta stand up and reach. No special text. So it's just that one item so far that the mage has that unlocks something. And if you didn't flip that over and read that text, you wouldn't even know. And so we got to be careful like that. That's something I totally would do, is get the new mage ledger and not realize that it unlocked a glyph thing on the other side for weeks. But anyways, okay, we're still continuing. Now we gotta do the level up. So bear with me. I am gonna put these components away. So I'm gonna pause real quick so I get those boxes out and not bore you. Okay, that is done. So now the last thing, and the most juicy thing, of course, is I gotta replenish this, and then we gotta level up. And I apologize. I was coughing during the break. I'm still recovering from a cold, so it does happen. This was not supposed to be here. This is like that. There we go. So everything heals up, and you can see there's a lot of mana points and damage done. And then, of course, some of this is going to change, because as you know, when we level up, we get to choose more juicy things. So here's our card again. So first thing we got to do is, it's going to cost us 5 experience points, and everybody has exactly 5. So I'm just going to collect that right now from everyone. It's going to get a lot harder from here on out to get experience points, but it is interesting how these rats were enough to get us another level, and I do like that. Alright, so I'll take all these, put them back in their tray, and there we go. Okay, so let's start with the one I have in my hand here is the dwarf, which is the cleric. And here you can see we're now level 2, right? So you can verify it multiple ways. We spent our 5 experience points, and he gets to choose to either go to 7 hit points, 3 mana, or 3 stamina. And last time we went mana. So he's currently at 2 mana. He would only go up by 1. So that's not a good move. And then the stamina points would just be +1 anyways. So we're going to take the hit points. We're going to go up to 7. So let me get my pen ready here. And we're going to take the hit points. I'm putting an H. And this is really good because we got KO'd for not having enough. And this max hit points goes from 4 up to 7. So 1, 2, 3 hit points added. That was almost a doubling of hit points for him. That was well done. Okay, and then we took and I wrote it in the wrong spot. My apologies. I'm not being smart here. It was hit points down here. Not up above. It's down here. And we took strength last time. This time we're going to take wisdom. So we're going to alternate there. And you'll see that he took strength, so he's at 2. We're going to take wisdom and jump up to 3. So I got to find his wisdom item. And of course my cords are going to stretch pretty far here. So in his tray, he has this. And it's just as simple as swapping it out. So we'll take the wisdom 1, replace it with a wisdom 3, like so. And then we'll maybe get to the strength one next time. And we could do all the other ones too. Like we could give him charisma, any of those things. But for now, I think that's what I want to do. All right. So next thing we have to do is we have to grab a skill for him, and we still haven't leveled up or mastered his other skill, but we got to grab another one. And I'm going to go ahead and just put his cards away, and let's grab his skill deck here. And of course the cards fell off. So what we did is we were going along the top path here. We took this one, and the next one in line would be stratagem. So, and this is in a combat turn, heal at least 3 and move 4 squares from where you started the turn. That's to master. What does it normally do? You pay a cube, gain 1, and then an exile within range 3 heals 1. Shift a creature up to 2 squares. Yeah, I like that one. We're going to take that one. The heal 3 thing is just a master thing. So I have to heal at least 3 in a combat turn and move at least 4 squares from where I started the turn. Okay, that's a little bit of a tall order, but we can do it. And then, forgive me, I got to put all this stuff back. And I can't carry the camera at the same time. Alright, so stratagem. We're going to grab that card, add it to his deck, and then we got to get another one of those not yet mastered tokens, like this, and I'm going to put it on his skill. And there you have it. We have Injun the Gruff Dwarf. So he's got 2 unmastered skills. His wisdom is 3, his strength is 2, and then he has hit points of 7, and his mana points is 3, because he took a mana point buff. And then I'm realizing I keep screwing up and wanting to write at the top, so we're going to go back to the Ranger. Let's do that one next. Okay, and then the Ranger is the Halfling here. Okay, so we took mana, like we said last time, so it's at 3. The jump from hit points would go from 3 to 5, so that's a 2-point jump, or 2 to 4 for the stamina. Now this is a tough one, because the mana is used for the mark, which we do use, but he's up to 3 now. It makes no sense to go to 4. That's only a bump of 1. Both of these are going to bump 2. It's just a matter of hit points versus stamina points. I have a whole lot of stuff that replenishes stamina. So I'm going to take hit points with him, which means that what I wrote there would have been fine. So I'm going to write it again. I'm going to just do hit with an arrow going up. Or I'll just write it up above. Hit points. And then we took endurance last time. And what do I take this time? That's a great question, because his skills, his knife skill uses dexterity, but his bows really use endurance. And so far, none of his skills have needed anything else. But as you can see, the endurance is only going up 1 at a time, so it would behoove him to take something else. It's just, I don't know if that's ultimately worth it. And we still don't know yet if they're going to just start running into random encounters where, you know, everybody has to pass an intelligence test. That's the tricky part about this game is, I mean, I think you do need to at least, every character needs to have something strong. Well, let's look at our skill set that we're going to take next, and maybe that'll help us, but I doubt it will. We mastered this one, which is the Staggering Shot. Staggering Shot is not that fantastic. It just lets you have a range of plus or minus 1. But that's all the more reason why I don't want to ever use my dagger. Because if my range is also a minus 1, I mean, unless I have an enemy right next to me, physically next to me, I can always use my bow. And it is possible that you could get cornered and have an enemy next to you and there's nowhere you can go. But this ricochet, hit with a basic bow attack while a different foe is diagonal to the original target. So if I look at this skill, that is to master it, and then the ricochet itself targets an additional foe diagonal like this. That's a bit of a stretch. It does let you hit 2 people though, which is not awful. And it'll let us get the fire arrow, which is where I'm ultimately going with this one. I actually still like the make camp and some of these ones at the top, but this is the path we chose to go. So we're going to go ahead and do the ricochet one. I mean, I did take him for his bow skills, so let's just maximize the bow. Okay, so ricochet needs to be mastered, so we'll put that skill there and get the mastery token, put it on. So now the ultimate question is everything I use requires endurance. So do I just go up to endurance 3 when everything in my brain is telling me upgrade the other skills, because next level you'll jump to endurance 4 and these other skills will still be at 3, right? Like, it behooves you to switch. To constantly pick the same one is robbing your other skills from any benefit. So I will choose dexterity 3 just because in the small chance that he is going to have to use that knife, this is the skill that will benefit from it. And so there you have it. He's going to take dexterity 3. He'll do endurance 4 next time or whatever. And okay, so his skill's done. And I'm going to write in that he took dexterity. And that's done. Okay, next up is the rogue. And the rogue is this pile of cards. In 1 second. Okay, so let's finish up here. For the rogue, we took mana last time, which you could tell we took mana, actually, with everybody. And it makes sense, because the mana one, it helps to have more, but the hit points jumps up quite a lot. It goes from 2 all the way to 5, whereas the other ones don't jump up as much. And we're definitely going to take hit points with the rogue. This is the rogue one, right? Yes. So we're going to take hit points. I just realized I forgot to change the ranger one. The ranger one took hit points as well and jumped to 5. So bing bing, like that. So this one also jumped to 5. That's a big jump for the rogue. So that's 1, 2, 3 hit points. In fact, that's more than double the hit points that the rogue currently has. And then the next question is, we took charisma last time, and that was the right move. Now we're going to jump to dexterity. And so bear with me, I got to reach across the table again to get the components here. So we're going to take dexterity 3. Put that in. And then we got to grab a skill. And I just got to be careful because I have a lot of components on this one. Alright, so what were we trying to do with this one? We'd taken pickpocket, that's right. So we're thinking of bandolier and then trap expert. Yes, I think that was the plan. So the bandolier costs some money. We have a lot of them now that take money. And then this one lets us, I think it lets us throw the dagger. You may, yeah. So it's extra daggers for throwing purposes. Not the greatest skill in the world, but I don't know. It could come in handy, you know, because we haven't needed to throw with the with the rogue, but maybe we will sometime. And the more important thing is we want to get to the trap expert. That's what we're gunning for. And a bandolier is one of those skills that we might end up dropping when we get full up and need to drop a skill. But that's okay too. And I may never even master it. Because I think you're allowed to take the next level up without mastering the one before, right? Skills, page 7. Because otherwise we screwed up with the... Yeah, all prerequisite skills must be learned, but they don't need to be equipped or mastered. Okay, so we're doing it right. Okay, so we went hit points, hit points, hit points. I think that's the common thing here. And then with the rogue, instead of charisma, we took dexterity, which makes sense. Now we get the mage, and remember the mage went with what's the T? Oh, that's an I. The mage went with intelligence. So we might have to... So the sword for the mage would be the wisdom. That's an interesting decision to make there, but let's grab the mage card and figure it out. I am very certain we're going hit points here, because we're currently at 1, and we're going to jump to 4. We did go up last time with the mana, so we're at 5. The skill points would be nice too, but getting up to 4 hit points, I mean, you look at it, it only goes up by 1 from that point forward. This is the big jump. We definitely want to do it. So we're going to go hit points with all of them. And so that one will jump us to 4. And then intelligence is what where it's at with this one, but we're going to take wisdom, just because I still think that it doesn't make sense to take the same skill all the time. Sometimes it might even be nice to you know, just take strength, just for the, because you're going to go from 0 strength to whatever, 3 in this case. I mean, that's a +3 bump. Here we go. Alright. And then the hit points went up to 4, which is like, that's quadruple the hit points that currently had. That was, I mean, it's so necessary to get to this level. This was a big level to get to. And I'm very, very happy with that. And I believe that wraps up our day. And we are at 43 minutes. I do want to keep playing, but right now I'm going to wrap this up for now. And when we come back, we're going to probably try to go finish our job, which is the gather the bird route. It says return to Felsworn Village. Or I'm sorry, no. I gotta travel to Sward, wherever that is. So we're going to do a little bit of exploring. Anyways, sorry for the short video, but it's dinner time here. We're going to wrap some things up, and thanks for watching. Stay awesome.